The first reactions to the live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender are rolling in, and critics are divided on Netflix's latest live-action adaptation. Despite much anticipation for the show's arrival, the first reactions to the live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender are very divided. The show has endured a lengthy development cycle, first being ordered by Netflix in 2018 before encountering a hiccup with original animated show creators Dante DiMartino and Bryan Konietzko departing 2 years later after creative differences. The process got back on track with Sleepy Hollow's Albert Kim as showrunner, with production running from November 2021 to June 2022, all with the assurance of staying true to the classic original.
You have me, Tara, and a flying ball of fur. What more do you need?
Just a week ahead of the show's February 22 premiere, the first reactions for Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender are rolling in, and critics who saw the live-action remake early are very divided on the show. Screen Rant's Tessa Smith was largely positive in her reaction to the show, praising it for drawing her in from the very start and establishing a beautiful and exciting world, though also acknowledged that she has yet to properly dive into the original show. Comicbook.com's Megan Peters offered a mixed response to having seen the live-action show early twice through, acknowledging that it is a solid watch that stands on its own, though cautioning longtime fans of the original that it makes a lot of changes. Collider's Mike Thomas, on the other hand, was largely enthusiastic in his view on the show, praising the first episode as fantastic and feeling just the opening scene was far better than M. Night Shyamalan's infamous 2010 movie adaptation. Comic Book Resources' Ryden Scarnato was also somewhat mixed on the show, assuring that he was satisfied with the first 2 episodes, and was cool with the changes, though admitted to feeling some of the acting was a little stiff and expressing a desire for it to have been more cinematic.
I chased down every hint of the Avatar. It's my destiny.
In contrast, Covered Geekly's at Luminous Dagger was far more critical in their opinion of having seen the first episode of the show, feeling that mischaracterization is present for the cast, that some of the VFX looks unfinished when not focused on the bending, and lamenting that the show gets off to a bad start. IGN's Rafael Montemayor was similarly very critical of the show, feeling the pilot was a huge letdown and that it suffered from too much exposition, poor writing and horrible pacing, though did acknowledge that Dallas Liu rules as Zuko and that the bending looks great and generally the visuals are solid. At Rama Screen, however, was enthusiastically positive in his reaction for it, hailing the live-action adaptation as spectacular and feeling that as its source material incredible justice, while also going on to praise the terrific cast, especially Aang star Gordon Cormier. At Pop Culture was similarly very positive in their reaction, saying they loved it and praising it as being truly animation to come to life thanks to the sets, costumes and SFX, which they hail as loved it. Talking Comics' Steve C. continued the trend of positive outlooks on the adaptation, expressing he is thrilled to say that it's fantastic and praising the blend of thrilled to say that it's fantastic alongside new elements to get excited about. Covered Geekly's Alex Duthie, another admitted newcomer to the Last Airbender franchise, expressed he is enjoying the live-action show so far, specifically citing the world as beautiful, while describing the visuals as cool and the characters as interesting. Is Avatar putting Netflix backwards in their live-action adaptation efforts? Heading into the show's development, Netflix had only just gotten started getting into the world of live-action adaptations of iconic properties, having released Death Note the year prior. With the 2017 movie having garnered mixed reviews from critics, the streamer's continued output continued to prove a divisive bunch, with 2021's Cowboy Bebop show garnering mixed reviews not only from critics, but from the original anime's director, Shinichiro Watanabe, who felt it was disloyal to its source. Having also struggled with its ratings, the show was cancelled after just 1 season, ending it on a major cliffhanger. Despite these early struggles, Netflix seemed to finally get things back on track with 2023's live-action One Piece adaptation, which was praised not only for staying generally true to its source material, but also for its casting, visual effects and writing. This, in turn, led to not only a Season 2 renewal from the streamer, but also their moving forward with another anime adaptation of Eiichiro Oda's manga alongside the current long-running one. It also established some hope in audiences that Avatar could live up to the acclaimed legacy established by its original. With reactions clearly divided on Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender, it begs the question of whether Netflix is going backwards in their efforts to make meaningful live-action adaptations of iconic properties. Given much of the division seems to revolve around the changes made, should it get a Season 2 renewal? It seems like a closer adhering to the original animated show could put the show back on track. The other major thing that could benefit not only the show's future but its upcoming premiere would be clearing up the creative differences with DiMartino and Konietzko and having them more involved. That's all for today. Do not forget to subscribe for more content.